Are you pregnant and suddenly wondering, wait, what am I supposed to do at work before I go on maternity leave? If you're juggling HR forms, calendar dates, insurance questions, and a whole bunch of stuff you didn't even know you have to handle, you are not alone. From FMLA paperwork to breast pump approvals to choosing a pediatrician, there is a lot that happens behind the scenes. And most of it becomes much harder to deal with once the baby is here. In this video, I'll walk you through 9 things you need to get in order at work and through your benefits before your baby arrives. This isn't fluff. These are the details that will shape your entire postpartum experience, especially if you're a first-time working mom trying to prepare with intention. And if you'd like all of these in a printable checklist you can actually follow, I made one for you, and it's called the Working Mom's Pre-Baby Checklist, and it's linked below. I'm Cherry, and I've worked with career-driven women who plan every baby registry item down to the brand. But no one gave them a clear guide for what to handle at work before they signed off. That's what this video is for, so you can walk into maternity leave calm, covered, and clear. The first thing you want to look into is whether you qualify for FMLA. It gives eligible employees up to 12 weeks of unpaid job-protected leave. But here's the key. It only applies if your company has 50 or more employees and you've been there for at least 1 year. And even if you qualify, it doesn't kick in automatically. You have to file the paperwork through your HR department. And that process usually takes time, usually involving a medical certification form your OB doctor fills out and a request you submit by a certain number of weeks pregnant. What most moms don't realize is that FMLA doesn't mean you'll be paid. It just guarantees that your job will be waiting for you when you return and that your benefits remain active. That's why a lot of moms pair their FMLA with short-term disability or saved up PTO or paid time off. Make sure you ask exactly how much of your leave is protected, what type of income coverage is available, if any, and when everything needs to be submitted. Because if you go into labor early and your paperwork isn't filed, your job protections could be compromised. Once you've filed, the next step is getting crystal clear on your leave dates. When does it officially start? When are those dates based on your due date or the actual day you deliver? Some moms want to work up until the day they go into labor. That's a smart move. Others want to start leave a week or 2 before to decompress. But what happens if you go early? Or if you're induced unexpectedly? Ask your HR rep how that affects your timeline. Also ask whether holidays or company closures count against your leave, because in some cases, they do. All of this should be in writing, even if it's just in an email thread. The goal is to avoid confusion when your brain is focused on healing and your baby, not HR policies. Another major piece of this puzzle is your health insurance. First, find out whether your coverage continues while you're on leave. If you're not receiving a paycheck, how will your premiums be paid? Will they be taken from your final check? Do you need to pay them directly each month? Every employer handles these differently. And the last thing you want is to lose coverage because of a missed payment. Second, learn how to add your baby to your insurance plan. You usually only have about 30 days to do it after the birth, and you may need to submit your baby's birth certificate or hospital documents. Ask how you're supposed to notify them, how long it takes to process, and who to contact if something goes wrong. Save that email address or phone number right now. You'll thank yourself later. Your insurance likely covers a breast pump, But it's not always automatic. You typically need to order it through a medical equipment provider that works with your plan. They'll verify your insurance and let you choose from the models that are covered. This process usually opens around 28 to 30 weeks. You may need a prescription from your OB doctor or your midwife, or maybe a due date confirmation. And shipping can take time too, so take that in mind. Don't wait until you're in labor to start this process. Getting your pump in hand before the baby comes lets you read the manual, sanitize the parts, and feel just a little bit more prepared. Before you deliver, you'll want to have a pediatrician selected, and not just handpicked, but confirmed. Many hospitals will ask who your pediatrician is before they discharge your baby, because they'll forward medical records to that office. Call your insurance company or check their online provider list to see who's in network. Then, call the pediatrician's office directly and ask if they're accepting new patients. That's very important, and specifically newborns. You can also ask if they do hospital rounds, although many now only see babies once after discharge. Choose someone whose location, hours, and communication style make you feel supported, because you'll be seeing them a lot in those first few months. Next, ask HR if there are any forms or updates they need from you before delivery. Some companies require you to update your W-4 if you're adding a dependent. Others need direct deposit info confirmed or a form that verifies how you want to use your PTO or vacation alongside FMLA. You may also be asked to submit short-term disability paperwork ahead of time, especially if a third-party vendor is handling all those benefits. Once your baby arrives, you may need to submit birth documentation to trigger certain benefits. I recommend keeping a small folder, digital or printed, however you want it, where you track all your forms and instructions. Let someone else know where it is too, in case you need help submitting anything while you're recovering. Let's talk about how to leave your desk without guilt. You don't have to finish everything, but you do want to leave things clear. Start documenting any ongoing work or key contacts your team might need while you're out. Create a short handoff note or summary of where your project stands. If there's anything you need someone to check while you're away, outline it simply, then let it go. Set an out-of-office reply that reflects your true availability. If you don't plan to answer email during leave, say that. And if your company tries to loop you in anyway, it's okay to gently remind them that your job right now is to recover and care for your baby, not to check in on spreadsheets. Depending on your benefits, you may need to report your baby's birth within a certain time frame, often 48 to 72 hours, to trigger insurance updates or formalize your leave. Find out who needs to be notified, how you notify them, and what information they need. I suggest writing a short email draft ahead of time and saving it. Include your name, baby's name, and date of birth, and what coverage or benefits needs to be activated. That way, when the time comes, you're not hunting for email addresses or policy numbers between feedings. This last one isn't about paperwork. It's about permission. You've probably been in performance mode for months, pushing through deadlines, nesting, planning, trying to get everything ready. But motherhood isn't another project. It's a transition. And part of preparing is letting go of the idea that you have to finish everything, reply to everyone, or hand off your job perfectly. You are allowed to shift your attention inward. You're allowed to turn off your work brain. You're allowed to step into this new season slowly and softly without apologizing for it. If you want all of this in one place, Download the Working Mom's Pre-Baby Checklist. It's a simple, structured list of everything we covered in this video, plus space for your own notes. Keep it handy, print it out, let it support you when your brain is tired and your to-do list feels endless. Once your work prep is handled, you'll want to feel ready at home. Watch this video next. I'll show you how to host a nesting party that helps you get real support after the baby. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If this helped you feel a little more in control, a little more confident, or just a little bit more prepared, that is the goal. Hit subscribe, download your checklist, and I will see you in the next one.